Okay, so very practically speaking, one thing that I envision everybody receiving from this gathering is that you will live much more in the gift than you ever have before. And it could be how to run a business on a gift basis. It could be the discovery of gifts that you didn't have before. It could be the revisioning of what you do as a gift. It could be a refusal to treat your gifts as something that's not sacred. It could be many, many things. And it will be an understanding that is transmissible. Now, why am I so fixated on this gift stuff? It's because the gift is the fundamental nature of the universe. The world runs on the gift. It's primal. You know, here we are, born day one as a helpless little blob of flesh that can't do anything but cry and shit, and has absolutely nothing tangible to offer. The only thing an infant can offer, I mean, the infant is just one demand after another. It's a little bundle of need. And the only thing you get in return is just the joy of serving completely another being. And you love the infant for no reason whatsoever. I mean, if there was a reason, you know, that kind of makes it a little bit less than love. So, you know, here you are, you're born, and you can't take care of yourself, you can't feed yourself, you can't protect yourself, you can't do anything. And you have nothing to offer in return at that moment, nothing. Yet, you are taken care of. You are fed. You are protected. You are kept warm. You are kept safe. Why? The mind, it's just you can't wrap yourself or wrap your mind around that. Why? There's no reason why. And so, because you're born into this receiving, all of us are, in fact, our default state is gratitude. Gratitude is the feeling you get from knowing that you've received, and it's also the desire to give in turn. You receive a gift, you feel gratitude, you know that you've received, you feel gratitude, and you want to give back. That's our default state. No matter how horrible your childhood was, you at least received enough to grow up, or you wouldn't be sitting in this room. And that's love. Why else would you take care of an infant? Even if there's some kind of social mechanism that, you know, funded the orphanage. Still, it's coming out of love. Nobody really benefits directly from taking care of a baby in any material way, according to the logic of the old world, that is. So, gratitude is our default state, just by virtue of having been taken care of as babies. And this default state, it's very deeply buried, but because it's our true nature, it keeps cropping up. People always want to do a kind and generous thing until that word, that phrase, can I afford to do this, stops them. Can I afford the money? Can I afford the time? But when you see somebody in need, your initial impulse, my initial impulse at least, and most people who I've talked to confirm this, but my initial impulse is I want to help. You know, I want to do something, and then something blocks it. And when it gets blocked, I feel some painful emotions. I feel sad. I feel frustrated. I feel angry. You know, I feel like I'm not fully expressed. But this simple, childlike desire is, I want to help. I want to do something for you. I want to meet that need. You see a need, you want to meet it. That's our primal nature. This was much less deeply buried in other cultures. Hunter-gatherers, they really don't do very much of anything to produce food. It just grows there, you know. There's a fruit, you know, there's stuff to eat, and it just grows there, and you don't have to know how a tree grows, really. You don't have to understand. You don't have to make it grow. You don't have to engineer it. You don't have to figure out the chemical processes. It just grows. The bounty of nature. And native people spoke of nature in terms of the gift. The deer gave itself to the wolf. The rabbit gave itself to the hunter. The trees are giving of their fruits. All things give to all other things. They were immersed in a gift world, and that just reinforced the innate gratitude that comes from being born and being raised. And the result of this gratitude was generosity. All traditional cultures operated their economic exchange, it's not really exchange, transactions not quite, their economic flow along the lines of the gift principles. It was a gift economy. That's something that's been mostly lost today. When Columbus visited Dominica, which was populated at the time by the Arawak tribe, he just marveled. He wrote this in his journal. He marveled at how open-handed and generous they were. You know, he says, you need but look at a thing and they will give it to you without holding back at all. They just, yeah, give it to you. He was very moved by it, although not moved enough to refrain from slaughtering them and taking them back as slaves. But this is just another indication that this is our default state. We are here to give. And we are here because we are all here to give, therefore we are also here to receive. Another aspect of the fundamental cosmic primal nature of the gift is just the universe itself. I mean, why do we even have a universe that's pregnant with life? You know, why do we live on a planet that's alive? What did we do to create this universe that nurtures life, that makes it possible for us to exist? Our very existence is a gift. Did you do anything to earn your existence? No, you were just put here. You were just created. Our lives are given to us. It is fundamental to the nature of a gift that it must circulate. Gifts that don't circulate, they collect dust in your closet and they go bad. They decay. They become a burden. You get stuck with them. Gifts are meant to circulate. The same thing with the gift of your life. You are here in order to give the gift of yourself and the gifts, in the normal sense of the word, the gifts that you have, your talents and your good fortune, your experiences, everything you've been given, you're meant to give it. And that's why if you have a job that does not engage your gifts, it feels deadening. It's dissatisfying. Now, our gifts are also meant to be given for a purpose that's sacred. So if your job is, quote, challenging, but that challenge is going towards something that's not sacred to you, then eventually that job will also feel very stultifying. Now,